Short answer, it depends. When making indie games, there's this idea that everything from the art to the music to the code has to be made by one person only. Otherwise, it's not truly indie. And there's this slight indie elitist mentality that if you aren't sitting in a room by yourself working 10 plus hours a day on your game while depriving yourself of any and all joy, then you aren't truly indie. And I personally think that idea is goofy. I think some of these ideas stem from genuine misinformation about how some people's favorite indie games are made. So let's quickly go over what might be right for you and clear up some common misinformation in the process. When discussing indie games, a lot of people like to mention certain titles they like as the reason they should do it all, because that's the process the person they idolize went through. But often people don't understand that there can be more behind the scenes than what's presented. For this example, let's use two of my favorite indie devs, Toby Fox and Eric Barone. Now, if you don't know who Toby Fox is, you're lying. Toby Fox is the creator of Undertale, a game where you play as a human who falls into a world of monsters. That's a very rough explanation of the game, but if I go into details, I know we'd be here for at least an hour, so I'm keeping it very surface level. When people think of indie dev success, many people think of Undertale, which makes sense given the game's success. But a narrative I've seen online is that this game was made by Toby Fox and Toby alone. I know some of you are thinking, well, everyone already knows he worked with Timmy Chang, who designed the art as well as a couple other things in the game. But I don't think a lot of people know about the others who have worked on the game and greatly helped with the production and testing. At this point, it's well known that Toby has a much larger team of people he's able to work with. But let's move on to another dev that people credit with indie dev success, Eric Barone. Eric Barone is known for making this small little game. You might have heard of it, maybe you didn't. He's well known for writing the code, making the art, and making the music for the entire game by himself. If you're an indie elitist, then the story of Eric Barone making Stardew Valley over the course of 4.5 years is highly inspiring to you. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. While Eric Barone did all of these things by himself, he also had help from Chucklefish as his publisher. What they did is help him update his forum page and official website, but that still helped. He also was allowed to work part-time while his girlfriend, Amber Hagman, worked full-time. This allowed him to put 10 hours a day, 7 days a week into his game, which is insane, by the way. Dude was actually cracked. All of this is to say that the idea of people isolating themselves like goblins in a cave and working for 10 years on a project by themselves is, well, it's honestly kind of laughable. Now, I know some of you watching are truly doing this alone, either because you can't afford to work with others, you don't have a partner, or you don't have friends. Now, not to brag or anything, but I have friends and a fiance, so why do I work alone? Ever since middle school, I've been very wary about working with others. A lot of this has stemmed from a lack of trust. I believe other people wouldn't understand my ideas, and I knew if anyone understood my ideas best, it was me. This means that all the art, editing, and other quirky things you see on the screen was made by one person. Are there pros to this? Well, yeah, actually. There's this nice feeling of working with yourself because you kind of always know what you're thinking. You don't really have to go through anyone else, and if some kind of issue happens, you know exactly who's responsible. It's me. While working alone has its pros, it definitely has its cons. It's really lonely working on something and having no one to bounce back off of. And sometimes it's nice to have help when something complicated comes up. When working with the team, you get the benefit of playing to your strengths and letting others take on the work that's hard for you. It's like sailing. You can do it by yourself, but when you have certain people working on certain tasks, it makes the chance of something going wrong less likely while having help along the way. Not only were the times where I've worked with others a lot easier on myself, but it's also just fun. It's nice to be able to talk to someone else who understands what you're going through and be able to bounce ideas off them and even get help with something that would take you a long time. Even if you consider yourself an expert in a field, it can be nice to also have someone with experience in that field so you can solve issues faster. So, should you work with a team or should you work by yourself? Ultimately, it's up to you, but I think working with a team will always be the better option. And if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend you do it. I've been trying to get out of my comfort zone and collaborate with more people, so I've been way more open to the idea of working with other people. If your friends don't have an interest in the stuff you do, or you don't have friends, then try doing a game jam. Not only is a game jam a good way to learn the process of game production, but there's often tons of people looking for others to collaborate with. I've been extremely nervous about trying more game jams, but I think I'll do it more in the near future because why not try something out of your comfort zone? And of course, thank you for watching. I want to thank Vanessa and Hannibal for supporting me and the channel. You're the reason I'm able to keep making these videos for everyone. Little word of warning, the next video might take a bit longer to make because quite frankly, it's a bit more ambitious. So I hope you look forward to it. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe so you don't miss an upload. And if you want to join a community of people that share the same interest as you, there's going to be a link to my Discord server down below. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.